Welcome to Quadratic Equations revision video for CAT. Now, equations. Now, quadratic equations basically are a second degree equation in x. So, when I say second degree equation, that means the power that x variable will have is 2. Now, the basic form of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. Now, when I say that this is the basic form and the power or the order of the equation is 2, that means the highest order of any variable that this equation will have is 2, and which means this equation will have two roots. Now, what are roots? Roots are basically solutions of the equation. If I remind you again, the equation we started with was ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Roots basically means if I put that value instead of x, this equation will satisfy to going to 0. Now, graph of the quadratic is similar to x, which is x square. It is similar to x square, which is basically like this. Now, at the point where it cuts x-axis, this is our x-axis. These are the roots of the equation. These are the roots. Let me just reduce the size of the pen to 1.55. Okay, so this is the graph of the equation. Looks like a parabola because it is a parabola. Now, one more thing to note. Equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. If a is greater than 0, then the graph will look like this. If a is less than 0, then the graph will look like this. If a is positive, graph will face positive y infinity, and if a is negative, then graph will face negative y infinity. I hope at this point the basics are clear. Now, moving on to methods of solving the equation. Methods of solution, and we'll start with the first one, which is without any formula. This is the basic method that we are introduced to. I'll take an example. So x square plus 7x plus 12 equal to 0, and I have to solve this equation. What I need to do is whatever is the coefficient, here it is 1, multiplied with the c factor, which is 1 into 12, and factorize it. I need to adjust the factors such that, let's say I'll adjust the factor. This is 12, so 4 into 3. I will adjust the factor such that addition or subtraction of these factors gives me my b term, which is 7 in this case. Now, I need to take care of the signs as well. So, for signs, let's say I have to get 7. I have 4 and 3. What are the signs that 4 and 3 will take? Which is both positive. Hence, the solution of the equation becomes x square plus 4x plus 3x plus 12 equal to 0. We factorize it. Now, what does factorize mean? Is taking common x or any number in this second case. First case, we will take x on the coefficient common. So, this equation turns into, taking x common is x plus 4 plus, we take 3 common, we again get x plus 4. Now, we take x plus 4 common, x plus 4 multiplied by x plus 3, which gives us 0. Now, these are the factors of the equation. If I have to get, if x plus 3 and x plus 4 has to be 0, then individually this, if 0 works for me, this multiplied by 0 will become 0. Again, also if this becomes 0, then also it works. Hence, I have got x equal to x plus 3 equal to 0, which gives me x equal to minus 3, and x plus 4 equal to 0, which gives me x equal to minus 4. These are the roots of the equation. I hope up till this point it's clear. This factors adjustment is very important. Adjustment of factors to get addition or subtraction of the b term is very important. Now, let's say we have roots. Let's say alpha and beta. If we have roots, then how to form an equation? Now, we know x equal to alpha is a root and x equal to beta is a root. Taking alpha on this side becomes x minus alpha is equal to 0 and x minus beta equal to 0. Now we know that these both are multiplied to get a quadratic equation. Hence my quadratic equation becomes x minus alpha and x minus beta. Here we can also note that x minus alpha and x minus beta are factors of quadratic equation. They are factors of the quadratic equation. Now let's say the quadratic equation in this case is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Then they are factors of this. Second thing to notice, if my equation is x minus alpha multiplied by x minus beta equal to 0, which gives me ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Then in that case, if I simplify this, x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha into beta equal to 0. This becomes this after multiplying both the factors. Now compare it with this. We find that x square's term here is 1. So we divide this entire equation by a and we get x square plus b by a x plus c by a equal to 0, which gives us an important identity, sum of roots, that is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and product of roots alpha into beta is plus c by a. This is clear from this. Minus alpha plus beta is b by a and alpha and beta is c by a. So direct comparison, we get products and sum of roots. One more thing, if we know, let's say, sum of roots as s and product of roots as p, then x square minus sx plus p is also a valid equation. This directly comes from here, right? Sum is minus b by a, so to get b by a I need to just input minus s. Hence I get x square minus x minus sx plus p equal to 0. Graphical meaning of this we already have shown. We have seen that this becomes alpha and beta, and this is my ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, or x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equal to 0. This is the entire form. Let's look at second method of solution. Method 2 of solving this, it's from formula. If my equation is ax square plus bx plus c, then by formula I can simply say x is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. This is a direct application. It will give you the same result. Now this under root term, this b square minus 4ac is called discriminant, denoted by delta. This is delta. Okay. Now on the basis of, I'm just going to write on the basis of delta, I'm going to write the formula once again here. X equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. Let's say if delta, which is equal to b square minus 4ac, is 0, then what happens to our formula? X becomes minus b by 2a. Now in this case I am getting only one solution, which gives me real but equal solutions. I hope this is clear. If my delta is positive, then my x is minus b plus delta root delta by 2a, and x is minus b minus root delta by 2a. Here we have distinct, because these two are different numbers, but real solutions. These are real still. But in the case if delta is negative, that gives us x is equals to minus b plus under root plus minus under root of negative delta by 2a. Now this is an imaginary number. Imaginary numbers are denoted by I, which is root of minus 1. Okay, if this is clear, then x becomes, or roots of the equation becomes imaginary. Okay, now to give you just an example, let's say this is an equation x square plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Yes, let me take x square plus x plus 1 equal to 0. Now let's calculate delta for this. Delta is b square minus 4ac. Now b square is 1 minus 4 is minus 3. Delta is minus 3 in this case. Now when we put this in our equation, now this becomes minus 1 plus minus under root minus 3 by 2. Now this gives me two different roots, which is minus 1 plus 3i, because under root minus 1 is I. This becomes root 3i by 2 comma minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. Now these, if you look closely, are complement to each other. What does complement mean in terms of imaginary numbers is, if I have a number a plus ib form, then a minus ib form will exist, and these are complement to each other, and these are roots of a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation always. Okay, so if let's say for a equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, I have a root a plus ib, then second root has to be necessarily a minus ib. A plus ib cannot individually exist without a minus ib. Hence, if in any question you understand that if one root is imaginary, second root is also imaginary, and they are of form a plus ib and a minus ib always. Now we move on to quadratic inequality. Quadratic inequality. Now what does quadratic inequality means? Quadratic inequality means that if an equation ax square plus bx plus c is greater than 0, or ax square plus bx plus c is less than 0. Now we saw that for a greater than 0, the graph basically looks something like this, where it intersects at alpha and beta, which are roots of this equation. Roots are alpha comma beta. Right? If this is the case, then let's say this is case 1 and this is case 2. Then for one quadratic equation to be positive, you can see that quadratic equation is positive around that dashed line only, because once it gets to alpha and beta, it is negative in this sense. In this case, it is negative. This is negative, and apart from this is all positive. Hence, for case 1, x will belong to minus infinity to alpha union beta to positive infinity. For case 2, quadratic equation is negative, and for this x will belong to alpha and beta, because between these two the graph dips beyond x-axis. Now for another case, for a is less than 0, the graphs looks like something like this. This is alpha and this is beta. Now for case 1, in which ax square plus bx plus c is greater than 0, we can clearly see that this is the area where the graph is negative, and this is the area in which the graph is positive. So solution easily becomes x belongs to alpha and beta, because it has to be positive. For the second case, ax square plus bx plus c less than 0, x will belong to minus infinity to alpha union beta to infinity, which is this and this. I hope this is understood. Now moving on, we see certain special identities for which quadratic equations are really wonderful for. If both roots are same, both roots are same for a1 x square plus b1 x plus c equal to 0 and a2 x square plus b2 x plus c equal to 0, both of them have same root, then a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2. I hope this identity you remember. This is an important identity. Okay, moving on. Some modification of roots is the last point in this modification of roots. Let's say roots are alpha and beta. The equation is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. If I add a value to roots alpha plus k, beta plus k, then the equation will become a into bracket x minus k whole square plus b into bracket x minus k plus c equal to 0. If roots are getting added with something, then in the equation it will get subtracted. Now moving on. If something is getting subtracted from the roots, then you understood perfectly well that if something is subtracted here, then it will get added here. Then the equation will look like x plus k whole square plus beta b into x plus k plus c equal to 0. Let's say if something is divided, beta and alpha are getting divided by k, then you understood perfectly well that it will get multiplied here. Whatever happens here, inverse happens here, reverse happens here. So a into bracket x k whole square plus b into bracket x k plus c equal to 0. If we multiply here, which is multiplication, it will divide on the equation side. If I want to figure out what the equation will look like, it's x by k whole square plus b x by k plus c equal to 0. If roots are squared, then what will happen? The equation will have square root of the x plus b square root x plus c equal to 0. If it is squared, it is squared root. You understood the relation between these two. Whatever operation is happening with the roots, the reverse of that operation will happen with the equation. If these are getting power to n, then the equation will become 1 by that power squared plus b into 1 by that n power plus c equal to 0. I hope you understood this. Now you can put it 2, put it 3, put it whatever. Now a special case, if I put n equal to minus 1, if n equal to minus 1, n equal to minus 1 means 1 by alpha and 1 by beta, the equation will look fantastic. It will look, now we have to write x raised to minus 1 whole square plus b raised to x raised to minus 1 plus c equal to 0. If this is okay with you, if you look at this, solve it, b by x plus c equal to 0. If you multiply the entire thing with x square, the equation will become cx square plus bx plus a equal to 0. A and c have interchanged their value from the initial point. These are all the concepts for quadratic equation. That's all there is in the entire quadratic equations. I hope this revision was helpful. I will see you in the next one.